Right now, I want to talk with David McGuire. And good morning, David.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing good.
Well, you got to speak up a little bit, David, so that we can all hear you.
Is that a little better?
That's a lot better.
Perfect.
Anyway, David.
I forget these things.
That's fine. David, you're on a run across Canada. You're about three-quarters of the way across right now. You're going to head to Vancouver Island. You've been right across this nation. You're bringing awareness to brain injury is what you're doing, and what it does, how it does, and what the people of this country can do to try and understand it better.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Yeah.
All right. Now, off air, you and I were talking, and you said one of the best questions you ever got was from a little 3-year-old. What was it?
I think she was in about, grade 3 or grade 4. We're at the school doing the talk on wear your helmets and protect your heads. And it comes to question period at the end of, what it's like to have a brain injury. And I'm talking about my short-term memory loss. And a little hand goes up in the air, and she goes, "Do you like the old you better than the new you?" And I was just amazed at this question. I mean, and I had to think about it, and I'm responding back to her, I have a better appreciation for life. I do more. Life is definitely more challenging, but I get to meet people like you. And so I went off on this tangent. I think I lost her at some point, but but it was just a fantastic question. So,
well, let's talk about you and brain injury. There's varying degrees of brain injury. There are people that are totally incapacitated by it. There are those that are quite bright. What happens to you, and what happened to you?
What happened to me? For the simple, without the long story, is I had a stroke or an aneurysm. My brain started to bleed. And when it started to bleed, my brain started to swell, and there's no room for the swelling to go. So they had to cut open a chunk of my skull, put it in liquid nitrogen for 29 days while my brain swelled and then came back. So I had a portion of my skull that I could actually touch my brain, which I thought was awesome. No one else did. And I was in a coma for 9 days and never expected to walk or talk or be a functioning member of society again. And I got really ticked off at that. And I decided, well, if I can't walk or talk, I'll run. And I, ran my first marathon less than a year after my injury, and then the Ironman, and then now I'm running across the country. So,
how many Ks are you doing a day?
I'm averaging about 40 kilometers a day. So some days I do up to 45. Some days we do a little bit less, around 30. It depends on whether we have TV interviews or radio interviews and stuff like that. So
right on. Yeah. Now, listen, you mentioned to me, too, that running across the country is quite interesting. It's restored your faith in humanity.
Absolutely. We have some fantastic people in this country, and little things like running down the street and seeing like a bushman. And I mean, when I say bushman, think about the beard down to the knees, the clothes. He doesn't look like he's had a shower. He comes running down from the mountain, freaking me out, going, "I know you." And I'm just like, uh-oh. Right? And he goes and hands me $20 to go towards the cause, right? And it's meeting the kids, the schools, even the police, our first responders. We have an amazing country and just amazing people in it. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. But listen, David, let's talk about the thing that's most important, and that's getting people to donate, to help, to raise the awareness. How do they do that?
Well, there's a couple different ways. My favorite is Come for Run With Me, which I was told you're doing after the interview, right?
Oh, yeah. So, thanks a lot.
Perfect.
Right? Yeah.
And then different ways. You can go to runtoremember.com and you can purchase a kilometer. You can donate a kilometer, or you can text the word brain to 45678. My favorite is really Come for a Run. I'm back in BC now, so anyone that wants to come out and come join me for the run, if you go to the website, I've got a little live GPS that shows where I am at any given time, and you can pop in to join me. So
great. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, listen, I'm glad you've had a good run across the country, and I'm glad you're going to be in Victoria before the snow really flies. You'll be through the Rogers Pass, I'm sure, and down into the warmer climes of our province. And as you said to me, one of the things that you are a little amazed at is why don't people understand BC's a great place to live?
I know. I've been all across Canada, and I still don't understand why Toronto's the center of Canada.
Right.
Yeah. My sister happily loves being there. I just don't get it. So.
Oh, well. Yeah. That's allowed, right? But I mean, we can make a lot of things light about this, but what we really have to do is to let people know and understand that brain injury is a brain injury, and it needs to be treated differently than somebody who doesn't have a brain injury. And people have to learn one very important thing, and that's patience.
Absolutely. And it's not like a broken limb or even like a cancer or something else where we can kind of, every brain injury is unique. Every brain injury needs specific resources to go towards it, you know, and that's the big thing that we need. We try to cookie cutter it to save money, to get people out, and it's unfortunately needs to be looked at individually. And 2 years after your brain injury, you're different than you were a year before. So we need that constant update for it, you know. More people will have a brain injury in North America than all other known disorders combined, and it's called the hidden epidemic. There's going to be 480 people today will have a brain injury. You know, if a 747 goes down or 6 people get, you know, food poisoning,
yes, right,
you'll hear about it.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
yeah. Amazing stats. Okay, donation information again.
Yeah, the donation again is text BRAIN to 45678, or you can buy a kilometer or more by going to runtoremember.com.
David McGuire, I want to thank you very much. Thank you for what you're doing, and here's hoping that you know, there's more people out there that understand brain injury is a brain injury and it has to be treated with respect and patience.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
When you hear Rod Stewart. Oh, Maggie,